From muskets to your PSA budget build, bandoliers have always been a good way to carry ammunition. In the modern world of plate carriers, battle belts, and LBE, what makes a bandolier relevant today? And why would we make one in the 21st century? We'll get there, but the legacy of the bandolier started back before cartridges even existed. They were made for muzzle-loaded rifles. In the 16th and 17th centuries, soldiers all over Europe were using flintlocks and muskets. They use a ball round and a certain amount of black powder to fire. In a battle, taking the time to measure out the correct amount of powder to use was inefficient and often could lead to overloading, which would cause it to fail to fire. This led to the earliest version of the bandolier and what would become an essential piece of warfare equipment for centuries following. As firearms in warfare evolved, so did bandoliers. Smoothbore rifles became less prevalent, and rifles with self-contained cartridges were the replacement. With the mass adoption of breech-loading firearms after the US Civil War, bandoliers started to look more like this.
Really?
Let's skip ahead a few years. During the First World War, infantry on both fronts were wearing mass-produced bandoliers, made with leather or heavy cotton and metal grommets. The British had their SMLE bandoliers, Italians had their Carcano bandoliers, and the US had M1910 bandoliers. 20 years later, Germany invaded Poland and began World War II. Alongside the wartime innovation in planes, tanks, and tactics, bandoliers were still being used. The US, Japanese, and the British all had their own versions of what was being issued throughout the war. 20 years after World War II, the US entered the Vietnam War in 1965, deploying troops following the Gulf of Tonkin incident the year prior. US soldiers were being sent out with M14s and M79 grenade launchers, and then eventually M16s and M203s. To carry their ammunition, they were using load-carrying equipment alongside either 4 or 7 pocket bandoliers. M60 gunners were also using bandoliers to carry belts, or just slinging them over their shoulder. Following the Vietnam War, the US used bandoliers in conflicts ranging from Operation Urgent Fury to Operation Enduring Freedom. That's centuries worth of conflicts, all using bandoliers. It's more than fair to say that shoulder-slung ammo carriers are time-tested and war-proven. So now that we have chest rigs, battle belts, plate carriers, and LBE, when would I ever even use a bandolier? Well, they're not the replacement for any of those, they're used alongside them. The core design of a bandolier is to be able to carry more magazines and access them easily, just like every other piece of kit. We made our 84 Bandolier with exactly that in mind. Carry more mags and make them easy to access. It has 4 mag cells that can carry 2 StanEgs each for 8 total magazines or 240 extra rounds. The pouches have flaps with Velcro closures to protect your mags from debris and elastic retention to make sure they don't slide around while you're moving. There are even drain holes at the bottom of each mag cell too. When you're shooting, you can run it with an open top for easier access and then close it back up for storage. There's 2 elastic loops in the sides of the rig to carry tourniquets or other med kit. You can sling it around your shoulder for a grab-and-go situation, or use the webbing to strap it around your chest for less movement. You can remove the buckles depending on how many stabilizer straps you prefer to use. If you want a smaller platform to stow away, pull it up into a brick and use the shock cord to secure it. Now you can throw it in a bug-out bag, range bag, or tuck it under a car seat. Go to KommandoStore.com/84 and pick one up in black or olive drab today.